just like I said, I didn't need to do that. He has given the brief background of the reason for hosting this event. And I'm sure a lot of us would have captured the impact of that brief remark. I'll go straight to the presentation of Chief Gabe Okoye, Nigerian Diaspora Organization Americans, the chairman. Chief, your floor.
Your Excellencies, thank you and welcome to this event. And every one of you in attendance today, I welcome you to this inaugural meeting of the Ultra-Modern Trauma / Diagnostic Center in Nigeria. As you can see, we say trauma, and then we slash it and we put diagnostic. That means we are straddling two ideas, and it may become one, but our medical professionals will give us guidance in that. Like the ambassador said, this was an idea born in Atlanta, but then we have to be realistic, because what we want to do is to be able to succeed in the project we are undertaking. Atlanta alone cannot do it. As a matter of fact, we moved it worldwide. I've discussed with my colleagues, the chairman of NIDO Europe, and also that of NIDO Africa, and NIDO Asia. This project, as a matter of fact, by this time, this coming Saturday, I will be in Canada, also discussing the same issue. And after Canada, upon my return from Nigeria, I will head to South America on this same issue. Because I think it is about time that all of us in the diaspora have something physically that we can point to and say this is what we have been able to do. I mean, it doesn't have to be in bricks and mortars all the time, but it doesn't have, it wouldn't hurt if we also have that. Intellectually, we've been able to help, but we also can do more. That is what this is about. So I'm going to go on to my presentation. I know there wasn't much time allocated to this presentation, so it's just going to be something to get us thinking, basically. And it says the need. We all know what healthcare is about in Nigeria. Sometimes I get very concerned when somebody goes to the hospital, because the next news I get once they've gotten to the hospital is what? They're dead. So you get concerned. Nigeria, when you go to the hospital, it is to die. And in the civilized world, when you go to the hospital, it is to survive, so you can be treated or cured. We would want to change that. So though all of them are also called doctors, MDs. But the bottom line is, we all know better. With all these strikes going on in schools, they're there 5, 6 years and they still get the certificate that they have graduated, and then they go on to practice. And you ask yourself, no wonder why people go to the hospital to die. But in what we are talking about, we may be able to help. And that is why we should be able to talk about reduction of unnecessary loss of lives. Because I myself is a victim of that. My immediate junior brother at 41 went to the hospital, as usual, with typhoid and malaria. And then the medication they injected in him, 30 minutes afterwards, he was dead. So it is not, it's something that we could have prevented if we had good professionals, well-trained, working there. Next slide. So the proposal here is to build an ultra-modern trauma/diagnostic center in Nigeria, like the Council General just told you. They're going to give us land in Nigeria, but it doesn't mean that the government takes control because they have given us land. This is still our project. But the government would have done their part when they have given us land. So they will give us land. And because there's a saying that a goat owned by the general public always starves to death. So NIDO is proposing that they coordinate this thing. It's not a NIDO project. It is a project for all diasporans, as I've said, including those outside of America. So it's for all of us. Next one. And you ask yourself, why would we be doing this? Well, I just give an example of how it impacted me. That is something that is preventable. So we can help to improve the healthcare delivery system in Nigeria. Of course, help to reduce the loss of the necessary and uncalled for loss of lives. And the important thing also is we're not excluded from benefiting from such a facility. Because if you are in Nigeria visiting, sickness can call on you while you're down there. Well, it will be heartwarming to know that you have such a facility that once you get there, you can be confident in the treatment you're going to receive. I myself, it happened to me once. It was food poisoning. I was in Nigeria. I didn't know what it was, but I was fainted sitting in a chill office of a bank manager. You know how they're very well air conditioned. And I was sweating like, I was just sweating so profusely. I almost fainted. And I picked up my phone to dial 911. Then I remembered where I was. And in such a case, imagine if it was something so serious. What would happen? Okay, so that's really necessary, And also, even the people who have the money, flying them outside of Nigeria can reduce, because sometimes when they fly them out, some of them go to India. And ladies and gentlemen, do you know what those Indian doctors in Nigeria do? Some of them, I don't even know if they're actually real doctors. But they print cards and say that they're medical doctors, and we rush to them in Nigeria. They just butcher you like an animal. Okay, and what it is you don't have to leave the country if you have confidence in the healthcare delivery system. But even if you choose to, you can be stabilized in a facility like we're talking about before you are moved to a foreign country of your choice. Because lately, as you have read on the news, there are everyone dying in transit because they were not stabilized before they were being taken out of the country. So this would help. And the other one is a physical symbol of diaspora contribution to Nigeria's development. Yes, like I said earlier, the federal government sometimes, because they don't see our contributions in bricks and mortar, will ask you, what have you done? What have you done? I've heard that question many times, and sometimes I'm sleeping and I will even dream it up. What have you done? I want to quit dreaming about it. I want us to have something, when they ask me, what have you done? I say, have you been treated like this? So we need to actually leave something. This is a good start, in my opinion. Next one. And then the city also talked about funding. But here I have broken down some of them. Multinational corporations in Nigeria. In this country, as we know it, so many corporations or companies try to be good corporate citizens of the locality they're in. Well, these multinational corporations in Nigeria should do the same. So as we're talking about this project, and bear in mind, all I'm doing is just throwing out status. So when we get to talk, I'm sure more ideas will come up. But we can get them to not just take our oil money, but to also invest in something they themselves can benefit from too. I mean, they could easily go on the wing of such a facility for us. We can, if you want to name it after them, that would be wonderful too. Because sometimes they'll ask you what's in it for them, other than saving their lives, seeing their names on there, will also give them advertisement that they need. And they don't want individual donations, all of donors, okay? I mean, Nigerians, we believe in donating money to a cause that we really believe in. And I believe that this is one we will all believe in. We can donate money individually when the time comes. But I also will propose that when the committee starts talking, that they also look at a hall that you can work on along the facility, and you see the names of the big donors, the donors, lined up on the wall of that hall. Because Nigerians like to be recognized when they have done something. So it's important that we consider that. That's why it's there in parentheses. And then you have a sale of engraved bricks. Now you copy good ideas. This is copied from Atlanta. Those of you who live here and know the Centennial Olympic Park in Atlanta, you know how it was built. All they did was sell what? Bricks. And you paid and they engrave your name on those bricks. So if you walk there, you'll see the names of the people that paid for each of those bricks. You can buy as many bricks as you want, and you can put your name as many times. Sometimes I go there and try to dust off the ones that, you know, people have stepped on too much, so the names can still show very well. But I think they do a good job of keeping it clean, and the names show very well. So we can copy that. We can decide that a brick will be sold for a certain amount of money, because we don't have to all depend on big donors. Every one of us can chip in. If it is $100 per brick and there's enthusiasm about this project out there, we count in our millions. That's more than enough money to do this project. So that's something that you can consider. And then you have grants, as was also mentioned, Ambassador here. We can also write for grants. That would include forming a structure that can be qualified to go for grants. That's something we can talk about. Then there are loans. There are federal government programs that we can also tap into to get some loans to get this project done. And then I said the last but not least, other fundraising mechanisms. Well, like I said, next Saturday I'll be in Ghana doing the same thing. I mean, they may have a different style of raising funds over there than we do here. All we care is what? The money, right? As long as you don't steal, you know, just give us the money. Even if you steal, just write you stole it on the money and give us an eraser. We might even erase it and use it still, but that's not encouraged. But all the same, that's what we're asking. So we can consider so many ways to raise funds, because without money, we cannot do this. And it's because of money that we're going worldwide, so that everybody can be a part of this program. And the burden will not be too much on any set group of people. It will be evenly spread out. And then you look at staffing, and you ask yourself, okay, well, if we build it, won't we just have the same unqualified doctors staffing it? Well, that is if we want it that way. If we don't, then we can require that any medical practitioner that will work in that facility will have what? Experience in a developed country. Like those of you that are here. And it could also be some of you that already retired from here. That facility might be the reason why you want to go home. So you can, finish up in your home country, helping the sick. So we can be from some of you that are retired and some people that are on sabbatical, or it might just be also regular staff. Some of you that are here practice for a few years and decide they want to go home to practice. Then they would have, or will have, a facility that will be of the same par with the hospitals they've worked in the developed world to practice in. So that is something to consider. Yes, not the next one. And in every project that you do, you also want to make sure that you do what we call a SMART analysis of that project. That you can see how that SMART comes about. SMART is not your intelligence. You can now see how that comes about. It has to be specific. And I think we're very specific with this project. I'm not going to go into the details of each one of these because I don't have all the time to do that today. But when the committee is up and running, we'll brief them and give some more details to that. But it has to also be measurable. Is this project measurable? Yes, it is. It has to be attainable. Is it attainable? Of course it is. Once we're enthusiastic and want to do it, it is very, very attainable. Realistic? Of course, it is realistic. And timely. Very, very timely. And that is why I think this project must be a go. And next one, please. And after you've done your SMART analysis, you also would have to do your SWOT evaluation of whatever project it is that you want to do. And your SWOT will ask you of your strengths. Of course, we have it. We have the expertise. And we also have the number. And we also have the money. So why can't we do it? It's all there. I'm not going to go into the details again, and then you have to talk about your weaknesses. Now, what are the weaknesses of the project? I mean, there will be some weaknesses in there. Sometimes it may be lack of enthusiasm. If you are not enthusiastic about it, and people are not able to get deep down into their pocket and donate, or even come out willingly to participate, which is what is most required here. Participate forcefully. That would make it happen. If we don't participate forcefully, this project will be in danger. And that's a weakness right there. So if you identify all your weaknesses in your planning, then you are going to be able to find a way to overcome them, and the project will be a success. And then you look at opportunities. Of course, I've told you how the medical healthcare delivery in Nigeria is. That's an opportunity for us to do something. If you're in business and you see an opportunity, you move in and you make a killing. And then you ask yourself, what are the threats? Because there may be some threats to it. And yes, Nigeria being what it is, there may be some people who will be standing at the sideline trying to do whatever they can to make sure that this does not happen, because it might cost them business. Like we talked about, the Indians that are there in Nigeria, some of them are not even qualified to be doctors, but they're doctors and practicing there. Well, if they see this coming up, who knows? And I'm not saying this will happen, but these are things you look out for. So threats are stuff you look out for to make sure that it does not stop you from succeeding. And the final one? Yeah, that's the final one. Then go to the next one. Oh, that's it? Okay, that's conclusion. Well, to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, this is doable. It will save lives. It will be a money maker. And then, this is the first time saying it, it's in the last slide, so it won't look like it's all about money. But if those money bags come into that facility for treatment, they have to pay. If not, when they include the money they were going to pay to fly themselves abroad and all whatnot, it will still be cheaper, for them to get treated in Nigeria. But it will be a money maker when cited properly. And also, it will help to restore the dignity of Nigerian diaspora. Because with the government always asking, what have you done? And then we finally show them what we have done. Then we can always brag about it. And it is important to do something before you brag. If not, it becomes foolish pride. That's what it is. Thank you very much.